Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone Face Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we're back with episode 10 of SDF Macross. I think I'm almost 25% through.
I suppose so. 48, a little less than that,
I mean,
if they're,
give it a little wiggle room for math, but, it's about a fourth of
you
the.
know, that thing that we're using, sure.
Well, I mean, what? You said 48, I thought we were 49, something like that.
49, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, what are you gonna do? Round up or round down?
I mean, eight, no, well, I'm not doing this. I'm sorry. No.
You're the one who chose the math argument here. You could have just agreed with me.
I could have done that. I
Yeah.
should have done that, and I didn't, and I regret it.
All right. Well, how about you go ahead and give us the recap then?
Last episode, Mylene has a fight with Basara because while Basara is, I gotta follow the spirit of my song and my heart, Mylene's like, we gotta be professionals about this. We gotta practice. We gotta do things right. And so she runs away. In the process, she meets Alice Holiday, I believe her name is. And she is already a hit singer, right, from probably a decade before, right?
She
We're sort
inspired
of getting
Mylene.
who inspired Mylene. And also one of the reasons why Mylene is frustrated is that their record, which has just come out, is in number 196. So it's pretty down the charts, right? Yeah, this was before Spotify and everything else. So
194,
yeah,
actually. They started
194.
at 196. Last week they were
Mm.
195, and this week they're 194.
So they're slowly climbing the charts, what used to happen when you have I mean, you still have top 10 or top 20 stations in
Rick
FM,
D's
but
weekly top 40.
yeah, top 40 stations. Which either today in the radio every station is a top 40 or shock jock BS. Anyway, not my point. My point is that Alice is hiding from her producers because she seems to be lost her spirit to sing, and she hides in a place where Miley finds her, and so they spend half of the episode driving around talking about music and all that, and being followed by the mayor's goons and the infiltrators because they're testing something about the spiritual, and they actually managed to sap a little bit of it from Alice, and Alice sort of loses the will to sing. And the producers go back to where Basara is, and they pick Basara up and the crew from Firebomber. So now everybody's following Mylene, trying to find her. Eventually, they do find a place where Mylene realizes, because Alice says, "Listen, your problems, I wish I had those problems. My problems are worse, right? I'm a professional. I have to deal with all this stuff." Implied, kind of thing we saw in SCF1 with Lin May, right? At first it was exciting, but then when she really got into the career, the whole weight of the career and saving the human race, kind of poured down on her a little bit, just a bit. And finally, they go into this corner. It starts raining, so they seek some shelter, and Mylene starts singing to Alice, which gets her spiritual level up, which the bad guys notice. It's like, oh wow, this is how you get, we get weird readings. And then Basara and the rest of the band shows up, and they start singing too. So that gets her levels even more, and she gets more excited. And it's like, oh, we need to capture her, right? So a mech shows up from the bad guys, and so there's another, pursuit, right? A chase. Basara shows up with a Y-19 to chase them away, and they're like, "Oh no, we don't. We got all the data we wanted. We don't need to deal with this anymore." So they just flew off, and that's it. And it's like, and again, Basara frustrated that his singing is not bringing peace and love to the galaxy. But we do get a final. The band gets an invitation to Alice's concert, which they show up to, and apparently the whole situation makes Bizarro and Alice, not Alice, but because Alice said, "No, actually, you're okay." Bizarro's like, "No, my song is great," and it's like, "Okay, sure, kid, it's great." Um, and and finally, Mylene and Bizarro seem to be on the same wavelength at the end of the episode, sort of. And Bizarro's like, "Okay, maybe yeah, you're right." Doesn't apologize for being a jerk because this was Bizarro we're talking about here, but still, they kind of make amends on the end.
Didn't occur to me that Alice has kind of a Bandit Keith look to her.
Hmm.
Bandit Keith, who's all about America. and Alice is the only person in the show so far speaking English.
Oh, but she's also speaking Japanese, but she speaks mostly English
Yeah,
and
yeah. Well, just saying. You could easily replace her head wrap with an American flag.
flag and bodyguards.
Uh, America. Magic Keith. I mean, that's all I remember. I know he wasn't that way in the actual show, so I guess
Yeah, yeah.
that guy is still making those. By the way,
Hmm.
just a couple of weeks ago was another Yu-Gi-Oh abridged. I was like, good God, dedication.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I'm not making fun. I went back and I rewatched a bunch of those early ones, and they are bad. But the long continuity he's created over
Hmm.
time making them makes them enjoyable still.
I mean, I never got into Yu-Gi-Oh anyway, so
Oh,
because
never.
I was all
Same. But the Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged by itself, it's just funny. Screw the rules. I got money. Anyway, yeah. I mean, it's also the episode that basically proved me right on, I would say, 90% of stuff. I'm giving you the 10% wiggle room on the Flower Girl because I'm like, it's mostly a joke for me, but it's also I want the Flower Girl thing to be more than what it is. So I'm just like that's one of those that I'm pushing it. I want her to be a ghost at this point because it would be more interesting than if they don't do anything with her, right? They included her in the fucking opening of the show, so
we got a lot of episodes to go, so she might be something or other. And we have 2 movies, I think it is.
I don't know. There is a lot of extra content for Macross 7.
Yeah,
Like, there's a bunch of, like, 2-minute shorts. There's a music video. There's side stories. There's a
yeah,
bunch of shit. Like, I don't think that this is gonna come to nothing, given how much Macross 7 bonus content that there is. Like, how can
yeah,
they have side stories if it seems like their whole life is a side story so far? So,
yeah. And it also proves probably that Macro 7 was a big, really big hit.
yeah.
Even bigger when that came after, because I don't think Frontier only has 2 movies. I don't think it has it. It probably has a manga or two attached to it, but not mainland. And Delta, I don't know. I think they announced maybe a new movie for it. I'm not sure. I know that they're doing a new TV series as well, but I don't know if they're also going to do a Delta movie or not. I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything about that. So
I will say, this might be premature, that this might be my second favorite Macross property so far. Like, only 10 episodes in, and it's winning me over more. Well, obviously, no one's going to be surprised if I say it's above Macross Plus. Despite how well Macross Plus did and how many fans it might have, Macross Plus just fell flat for me the entire way. Even when I figured out what the plot was, like, when I had to be reintroduced to the plot, because, like, if you were not here, the whole hypnotism thing would never be known to me. There was something. Oh, I don't know. Obviously, if you weren't here, the subplot about the assault wouldn't be effective at all, and that would have hung over me no matter what.
Mhm.
The hypnotism thing, I would never fucking known. I just been like, what the fuck is going on? Are we people working for Sharon Apple all of a sudden? What's going on? But
she's that rich. Yeah, she bought everybody on Earth.
well, I
Like,
mean, to me, it'd be more believable that Sharon Apple, as a celebrity and AI, just paid people, paid people
yeah,
off. Then
she just took control of the banks. Yeah, it's like,
then
yeah.
mysterious hypnotism shit. I guess that wouldn't explain why everyone's going all wonky either. Um. Anyway, Macross Plus fell flat for me. I actually rank this above SDF Macross so far, but I think that's just because I like the music more. I feel like they're comparable storylines so far. But this has better music, so
Well, I always think that Macross Plus has the best music for me so far. So yeah.
yeah, I found that to be gibberish. Again,
I
it's
mean,
all
it
personal
literally
tastes.
was.
It's
Some
per
some of it was a lot of it was deliberately gibberish because Yoko Ano wanted to she wanted to do sort of a Esperanto style situation where it's this sort of universal, you know, language. So, but they does have English translations as well. You can listen to the songs only in English, which are not bad, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's
You know,
just that,
the
it's not the kind of music I would listen to on my own,
mhm.
nor have any desire to listen to again. It's just,
Oh,
whereas I've
it
told
also
you, I listened to Macross 7 on my own. So it's like, I like this music. On
I'm
a
more of
side
a
screen, I have two of the singers doing it in
mhm,
concert. I just like
mhm.
it.
Wow, in public? Jesus Christ. I thought Japanese were more modest than that. Anyway,
I mean, I'd
I do
probably,
like yeah. Uh the There's also a reason why I also like Macross because I'm very much into electronica, and it hit that sweet spot where it's the 1990s and house music and electronica was becoming very popular in the states and around the world. I mean, it was Euro trance and all that, and Macross Plus just came out right then and there, so it was like, wow, this is great. But if you're not into that, if I mean, one of the things that does sell Macross Plus is the music, and if it doesn't sell it for you, the rest is like, okay, you know.
yeah, I mean, that might be why I love this one so much. Like I said, it hits me like Journey, Bon Jovi, Poison, things like that, where I can just hear it. Like, it has such a similar guitar riffs and beat and everything that I'm like, I'm in. this, this is the music I grew up with.
Mhm. Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, I could probably put in it's a kind of music that I would put in the background in like a doctor's office and I wouldn't mind it, but
when I was getting like my radiation treatments done, and I'd go there every day, I would always prefer when the classic rock person was in charge of the radio because we could sit there on the table and just like don't move, be perfectly still, and you're counting out how many songs have been played on the radio to try and time out how much longer you're going to be on the table. I always preferred it because the classic rock songs, being in my wheelhouse, just kind of made it go by faster. So I'm just attached to that kind of
yeah,
music.
I got you, got you. I understand.
Um, was there anything else we wanted to discuss before we get into the episode?
Nope, that's it.
All right,
At least
well,
for me anyway.
that said, then let's go ahead and get on into it.
But before we get started,
Make sure that you hit the like button.
Hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
on top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
Unfiltered.
Uncensored.
And uncut.
as well as some early access stuff,
You can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Oh, and I guess for anybody who didn't pick up, Macross Zero is still my number one.
Hmm.
Well, it's shorter, which is much more succinct and to the point, and also it doesn't like contradict anything that I know so far. Birdman is just weird Birdman thing. I guess other than the fact that somebody out there has time travel technology.
You keep saying that, and
They
I'm
said
saying
it
that
in the show. Look, you can keep disregarding it as much as you want, but they said it. I could literally transcribe it. I could make a short. I could make a YouTube short if you want.
I mean, what I'm saying that I interpret it as being the way they travel to time and space, but
Okay. Okay, weirdo. I don't know what to say about this. Literally, it's like if you got in your car and I said, oh, Lessons travels through time and space. You know who the only other
it would.
person I know who travels through time and space? The Doctor and a DeLorean. Nobody
Well,
else says it that way.
technically, you would not be incorrect.
Yes, but nobody speaks in technically. I hate it like they're showing like she's saying this. It's Mylene talking, not Flower Girl.
Is she supposed to be like a Whitney Houston type character?
Well, I called
With
her
blonde
like
hair?
I called her like Heart. So one of the two girls from Heart. Whitney Houston. That's a weird call to make because her music
Darker
doesn't
skin?
sound like it. Also, For some reason, I thought that was Amelia for a moment. Like, was Amelia singing on the...
No, we've seen her before. She's another singer, but we don't know who she is. Wow.
So I guess Vivitas has been in his bedroom before. Because there's a drum set right next to his bed. He don't play the drums.
今乗るから待っててくれ。レイ、これはどういうことなんだ。だから言っただろう。定期的なメンテナンスだって。
You remember 2 episodes back when you were floating through space and your machine was covered in black pockmarks?
Yeah.
Maintenance.
こんな朝早くからか。
もう昼近くよ。
そうか。こんなんで運ぶなら。 俺が直接乗ってった方がよっぽど早いんじゃないか。道の真ん中バトロイドが歩いてたら他の車がびっくりしちゃうだろう。まあ、バッチリ整備してくるからさ。でも
Also, where's he gonna take this to be repaired or check maintenance? It has to be the military. They're the only people who have the.
That's their old buddies of mine. Well, I mean, you're asking as though we don't know he has connections to Max.
I know, yeah.
そんなことも知らないでうちのバンドに入ったのか。
だってねえ、前は何をやってた人なの？
俺も全然知らねえ。
何よ。
過去のことは一切言わないやつだからな。
I guess you're right. This is the explore the past, Roy's past episode.
You mean Ray?
Right, yeah. You're saying Roy, but
Yeah, we're all getting over. I mean, today, the
I
date
like
this
her
video.
kimono. Well, it's not kimono. It would be oh man, that's a, it's a simpler form of kimono that she's kind of wearing, sort of, or themed. Oh man, I'm blanking on the word right now.
で、詳しい打ち合わせをしたいんだけど、レイがいないんじゃ出直した方が良さそうね。
絶対すぐ連絡するように伝えます。
お願いね。まったく昔から捕まえるのが。
Yukata. The word I was looking for is yukata.
アキコさんはレイとは昔
Oh,
から
the thing has Pac-Man eyes.
そうだけど。
レイは前何やってた人なんですか？
知らないの？
ええ。
パイロットよ。軍のエリートパイロット。
パイロット？
Yeah.
I'll take a hammer to it. It'll be just fine.
アーム接続 B103 金属疲労程度レベル 0,0004 チャフデコイマネージャー iPhone 異常なし
CRTC かチャンネルチェンジモニター回します。
一部塗装の剥げたところを除いてすこぶる順調ってことかな。私たちが想像していたよりも数字は上々ですよ。さすがは最新型の VF19 だ。確かに。
Yeah, VF, not only YF.
No, you said YF.
It says VF.
最新鋭のバルキリーがあるって聞いてね。そこの部屋の窓越しに一目見せてもらおうと思って。
申し訳ありませんが、20番整備工場とそれに関係する施設は関係者以外立ち入り禁止です。
I'm sorry. I think Xeon needs you back.
確認するだ
You're
け
not a
注意殿、申し訳ありませんが。
World War II called. They want their uniform
テ
back.
ストを兼ねているとはいえ、無償で VF19 を提供しているわけではない。はい。オペレーション M の進行状況は遅れているようだが、
Operation M
計画通りに進ま
for
ないのなら
music.
練り直しが必要。練り直しの必要などありません。とにかく時間をください。マクシミリアン艦長。今はっきり言えることは、熱気バサラのパイロットとしての腕はかなりのものだということぐらいだな。艦長。昔の私に比べればまだまだだが。
Wow. Yeah, he's good, but I used to be better.
今日は関係者だけなんだよ。
おい、なんか今日は客層が
Yes, the ghost got turned
当た
down.
り前でしょ。アキコさんが苦労してテレビディレクターや映像プロデュー
Here's
サ
my
ー、
problem.
音楽雑誌の記者。
I was just about to say, okay, maybe she's not a ghost. but your antagonism has maybe doubled down, and now she's a fucking ghost forever.
まあ今日聞いた人たちの中から一人でも反応があれば何かのきっかけになるでしょう。
アキコさんにお礼言いなさいよ。
ああ、どうも。
いいえ、大したことじゃないわ。
Wow. He couldn't even do a full bow. He's like, yeah, yeah, whatever.
Oh, they saved a lot of money with this. The voice actor barely talks, and we can reuse the same drumming scene all of the time. Sorry, we're not really good at stealth anymore. Also, where did they come from? Do you see anything above them right now?
No.
They jumped out from where the audience was. From the sky. Must be from that place that Spider-Man shoots all his webs at. Low butt crotch, too, on Paphitis. Thank God G.I. Joe was here.
Just shoot the guy already.
Either of you. You're both. One of you has laser mouth. What was that?
Ow.
Did he just fall on a ripped piece of metal? Yeah, he did.
Finally, somebody actually hits these assholes.
Yeah, G.I. Joe was here.
Yeah.
I guess he's got PTSD, which is why he's not in active service anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Ma, 傷は内臓器官には達していませんでしたから、そう心配することはないでしょう。傷口がくっつくまでは安静が必要ですけど。
Horrible bedside manner.
Mm-hmm.
He got horribly injured. It's no big deal. 15 stitches, my guy. No big deal.
They are faking out his death. He is going to die. He's not going to make it through the series. I'm calling it.
まったく大したことなくて本当に良かったぜ。
ごめんなさい。私を助けるために。
Very ineffectively.
でもあの時どうして撃たなかったのって。目の前に敵が迫ってるって時に。
あれは武器の使い方知らなかったのさ。
Liar.
If that was true, you would just throw it at them like Basara did.
Yeah.
You think maybe he has like the Die Hard backstory? Like he shot a kid?
No, I think it's more like he.
I'm not saying he
lost-
shot
I
a
think-
kid. I'm saying like that flashback that we saw was him shooting somebody else down by accident.
No, I think he was being torn to pieces. He actually lost. I think yours that he was part of the mission to that planet. I think it's more credible.
I also appreciate that the mid-scene transitions also tend to be who's on screen at the time, and not just the same thing every time.
エリア D に接近。
ダイヤモンドフォースは
出撃準備完了。 D フォース発進、カタパルト上昇クリア。
レイ、俺が取りに行くよ。
ああ、まあちょっと待て。
なあ、どこに預けたんだよ。
バサラ、
なんだよ。
拍手は言って待ったろ。連絡するか
連絡？
ら。ああ、
頼んだぜ。
The danger here is that Ray is bedridden, and we have infiltrators on the loose.
Yeah.
大丈夫よ。病院は安全だ。
And he makes the wound worse, so he actually dies in this episode.
なんでどうしちゃったの？まさかバサラが連れ出しちゃったの？
どうかしら。
I think Ray's gonna die.
He has to. He's a mentor.
He's a band member. Who are we gonna replace Ray with?
ああ、それでしたら S8 地点に運んでもらえますか。だったら G3 にお願いします。
Also, it'd be a real shit move to kill Ray in episode 10 at 49.
私探してきます。待ってみ
They've
る。
done it before.
Roy got a lot further through the series.
無理よ。見つからないわ。多分本人が行きたくて行ったのよ。
Also, I'm pretty good about identifying when a good character is about to die. I don't get any sense of Ray dying right now until you threw it in my head.
ミレーヌ？はい。さっきレイになぜ撃たなかったのか聞いたでしょ？
ええ。
彼は撃たない人なのよ。彼は戦わないの。レイがパイロットだったのはまだマクロス7が出航する前。レイ、金龍、ステファンという3人がピンクペッカーというチームを組んでいた。
Horrible name, but also at least it ties him to a bunch of characters.
Pink pick. Oh, it's,
I mean, if it's D-Force, P-Packer, and Pink-Packer, we know what they're going with now.
ゼントラーディの残党と戦闘中、ステファンとレイの2機だけ孤立して敵の中に取り残された。退避か攻撃かで悩んだ時、ステファンの反対を押し切ってレイは攻撃を選んだ。そしてステファンは死んでしまった。ステファンの死は自分の責任だと軍を辞めて。
Okay, so not the shoot I shot a kid thing, like I said, but basically the same effect.
その頃からレイと親しかったんですか？
レイと？
ええ。
そうね。
I'm his ex-wife.
I used to know him when he flew planes in the circus.
私はステファンの恋人だったの。
Yeah, close enough.
落ち込んだ私を支え、励ましてく
Sure,
れたの
I think we're just both getting away with being vague about stuff this episode. I'm sorry, is there traffic or is a certain artificial intelligence idol attacking us? What's going on here?
Dude, but this thing flies. You can just fly to wherever you need to go.
I guess maybe not all of them fly.
No, we've seen this one fly too.
I don't think we've seen this one fly. We've seen it in space. Maybe it only has horizontal thrust.
それがバサラなんだって。
バサラ？
そうよ。なんか前より若々しくて悔しかったわ。
悔しいですか？
そう。ステファンのためにも今度のことはやり遂げなければいけないんだって。
Yeah, that wound reopened.
Yeah, but it didn't hit any vitals, remember?
命をかけるに
That doctor said it was fine.
You can bleed to death.
わからないでしょ。
I would be more on board if he was bleeding to death. He was like leaving a trail of blood behind him. Yeah, the
Wow.
free phone.
Yeah.
ピンク色。
Wood. Okay, they really are going for the picker aspect to this.
ああ、ありがとう。助かったぜ。バサラか。
はい、隊長。 孤立した。援護に行く。お前は大丈夫だな。はい。隊長。なんだ。いつもの民間機見かけましたか。カラオケ兄ちゃんか。諦めたんだろ。気にするな。
Karaoke Ninja.
気にしてなんかいない。
I said he was Milli Vanilli-ing it, so I guess that's them.
なんて無茶なことするんだ。俺が取りに行くって言っただろ。
照れ屋なんだよ、俺のダチ。だから俺じゃないとな。お、なんだ、待てよ。
ワゴンまで運んでやるよ。
冗談じゃない。自分の体ぐらい自分で運べるよ。それよりお前早く行け。軍のハッチ勝手に使ってんだ。バレたらただじゃ済まねえ。
あんたはいつもそうだからよ。必ず戻れよ、病院。
ああ。
Yeah, I
戻ら
don't
なか
think
っ
he's
たら
gonna
承
make
知
it.
しねえからな。
I mean, now he's getting Death Flag
早
vibes,
く行
but
けよ。こっちは OK だぜ。
気持ちいいんだよ、雨が。
why would you kill
Yeah.
Ray in episode 10?
Motivation for Basara to to do something different.
We haven't been given enough time to get to know Ray. Certainly, this episode wasn't enough. Just knowing his backstory there wasn't enough. They're doing Ray dirty if they kill him this episode.
あれはやつか。
And he better not die to a Basara singing round. Or during one, I mean. I don't want Ray's death to be mixed with Planet Dance in my head.
Yep,
I just said I didn't want that.
I told you.
Don't be smug, you're ruining the moment.
俺の獲物だ。余計なことをするな。 お前の相手は俺だ。
That was fucking hit and run with these people.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this time they didn't even sample anything.
なんか今日はいつになく気持ちよく歌えたぜ。
Ah, fuck you, he got back to the hospital.
Is she gonna make it out though?
大丈夫よ。
Ah, she said she'll be okay.
レイったらお医者さんにみっちり絞られてたわ。
Ha!
当たり前だぜ。
Told you I didn't get the vibes of the death episode. You put that in my head.
おとなしくしてるんじゃない？
さあ、アキコさん、レストラン行きましょう。
俺は連れてってくれないのかよ。
私はアキコさんと大人の世界の話をするんだから。子供は部屋で。
Well, you're 14 and you're gonna talk about grown-up stuff.
I
I mean, to be fair. Of
She
the
has a lot to
two.
learn.
聞かせてくれ。今朝あった最新鋭のバルキリーはまだあるのか。
注意殿、申し訳ありませんがお答えできません。
退院おめでとう。
や ぱりここがいい
Well,
な。
somebody got flowers. Well, this is the second time somebody gets flowers, but none from the flower
もう
group.
一つ会員はあるわよ。ファイヤーボンバーのプロモビデオ。本当に？ええ、タイアップものだけど、この前のステージ見て決定したそうよ。
With the one we didn't finish, they got interrupted by infiltrators.
Which nobody seems to be able to kill.
前進したね。
え夢か？
いいのいいの。
I'll say this. I'm glad that I rewatch all of these on my own to take notes because
Yeah.
for the audience members, they're like, God, you fucking talk over everything. Yes, I know I do. That's my reaction. The note section are the parts that you should be paying attention to figure out what I actually understand. Because those are the parts that I went back and rewatched. But yeah, no, I mean, there's going to be a lot here for me to go back over and pick back up on. Because I feel like every time something important was being said, I was addressing like the last thing that you commented on still. So, well, I mean, like, they're talking about Ray's backstory shit, or it's coming up on screen, and then you mentioned that the car or the bus could fly. And I'm like, my head is now back thinking about every time the bus has ever flown. It's like, and I'm thinking, well, we've only ever seen it in space, so maybe it's only capable of, horizontal thrust. And it's like, oh shit, they just said something really important and I wasn't paying attention. Because I'm remembering all the times the car has moved. So yeah, I'm gonna obviously come back with our next time on with a bunch of thoughts for at least the last 2 episodes. I think they've been really important world building.
I think they really are setting Mylene to be like, not Basara, but Mylene to be the Ling Ming Mei of the show, right? Oh, there you go. There you go.
There you go, what? It was just a Lin May story. They didn't like give the... You're like, there you go. You called Lin May. That was it.
They're setting up Mylene to be the Ling Ming Mei.
Yeah, no, I understood that. That was perfectly fine. Maybe that is true, but I'm just saying, you're like, all was there. They're just looking at a video of Lin May. That doesn't prove your point.
They're gonna play. They're gonna play that. She's gonna play the role of Ming Mei. That's what. Oh yeah, I got the role.
I'm just saying, you threw your hands up in the air like, 100% right. It's like, no,
okay.
No, you said Lin May, and then they said Lin May. That's all that happened there.
Okay, fine. When we watch the next episode, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying you couldn't be right. I'm just saying that you threw your hands up in excitement as though 100% proof had been accomplished.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I feel happy that you said Lin May 5 seconds before they did. That's great. That you decided your mind went to Lin May, and the show is like, we want you to be thinking about Lin May now. It's like, you could be on the writing team for that one, sure, but... I mean, I think it's interesting that we're not doing just callbacks anymore, like Max on the bridge saying, "What does he want to be the next Lin May?" But now we're like, "Hey, Lin May was a real person. Let's just go watch a fucking video of Lin May." Also, I think obviously we saw Skull Squadron or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
They're Skull Squadron, right?
Skull Squadron, yes.
Sorry, in my head I was thinking Pirate Squadron? No, that doesn't sound right. Because it's Skull and Crossbones thing motif in my head now.
Yeah.
So...
Again, I said this before, for people who don't know, I mean, everybody who's watching probably knows this. It's based on the U.S. Navy's, I don't remember the number, but it's called the Jolly Rogers Squadron, which has that same motif. So when they brought it over to Macross, they simply call it Skull Squadron.
So it looks like we're gonna get SDF Macross events in Macross 7 format.
I guess
which
so.
is to say updated art of these characters.
Maybe not, because I would say that the Do You Remember Love quality was higher than this.
I don't think so.
Oh,
I've stated that I did not like the movie quality as much because it was just like, it was the difference between SDF Macross and the movie was the same difference I feel like is between new and old Star Trek, which is to say darker and weirder looking. I think I complained about that at the end of the movie was that all the scenes were just darker versus the brighter scenes that we got in SDF Macross.
But I think the reason why they were made darker in many ways was to have higher contrast as well, right? Between light and shadow. They do play a lot with light and shadow in the movie. Like literally, the opening is the light reflecting out of Jupiter. Was it Jupiter or Saturn? You know,
I
coming
think it
and
was
covering the
Saturn,
entire
right? It was the
yeah, because
rings.
that's rings. Yeah, Saturn. You know, covering the entire ship like she's coming out of the shadows, right? So they were playing very much with that. And
I'm not
also when they
saying it
did do
was
bright light,
bad. I'm not saying it was bad
yeah.
across the board. I just meant as a feel. Like, I would rather watch the bright scenes of SDF Macross, even in like this is a dark, gritty moment. The bright scenes were just easier to watch versus the darker scenes that played with those contrasting things. Like, obviously, the space stuff worked better in those darker contrasts. But when it came to the people, it's like, wow, we're always in a fucking dark room, and it doesn't work well for the contrast of your people versus just seeing Hikaru walk around in daylight all the time in SDF Macross played better for me.
Oh.
So I would prefer it if they stuck to that motif. If they look, I thought what you were going to go with here is they're probably going to save on budget and just show us old SDF Macross video.
They
But
might do that, but I don't think so because it would really look out of place.
I just want to see our old SDF Macross friends in Macross 7 art style.
I mean, yes, it would be an improvement from the original SCF one because this show does have a higher budget, right?
Oh,
And
I'm not even looking
particularly
for an
around
improvement. I just want, just want to see them again. I
Mhm.
just want to see them again because I'm a fan of the series now, so I just want to see characters that I like again. Or even I would even see Kaifun. Like, look, he's a character I didn't like, but he's a character I've spent time with now, and I kind of just want to see everyone. Look, I want to see
Yeah.
somebody remember Roy in Macross 7 so that we can see Roy again too. I just want to see everyone. I want to see
I
everyone
guess
again.
Cap now Captain Genius, he would have a connection to Roy, so yeah.
Yeah, sure. I want to see Max watching the Minmay video and remembering the guy that mentored his mentor. My mentor's mentor.
Yeah, and also he was his commander as well.
My grand mentor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I I have to say I don't have a problem with how they were drawn. I don't think I even ever commented about the art style of SDF Macross because I've said before, like, I watch 60s anime, I watch 70s anime. I'm not really, unless it's really bad, I don't really care about the art quality until we hit the CGI era, in which CGI just fucking sucks when it's mixed in with the anime. That's just my opinion on that.
I mean, CGI when it's used well, it's great, but if it's overused, then it's like
Well, I mean, like,
now
take your
now everything is CGI basically.
I mean, take
All
your
the anime is
line
CGI.
barrels of iron, for example, where the mechs are CGI and everything else is animated, and it's just the first thing that jumps out of my head. But there are some
Yeah.
really bad CGI only shows out there that just do not deserve to be around. I wasn't even a fan of Trigun, the new Trigun thing,
Mhm.
because that just didn't look good to me. Everyone's like, "This is a fucking triumph of this new art style." If you don't like Trigun, you should at least love the art style that's going on here. And I'm like, that's what drew me out of it. Well, that and the characters that got changed. Those characters should not have been changed. I don't know why we had. What was his name?
The one with the cross?
No, no, no. The in the new Trigun, instead of, oh god, I can't remember either of the names. You had the short girl, and then you had
Mhm.
the really big farm girl,
Yeah, Togo. The
and they
insurance
replaced
the
her.
insurance
Yeah,
the
the
insurance agency.
Bernadelli Insurance Agency
Yeah.
girls. They replaced the big tall girl with just this guy who is a famous Hollywood actor's name for some reason,
Yeah.
and he's a drunk. And it's like,
Why?
yeah, so I'm saying why. That's
Yeah.
dumb. I did. She was
that
the
was a
best thing.
That was pretty dumb. Yeah.
Anyway, my point being is I'm not put off by the art styles. If they just showed us clips from SDF Macross, I'll be disappointed because they didn't do something new. But I don't have a
We not only we get a clip show, we're gonna get an SDF1 Macross clip show.
third time around.
Third? Yeah, probably third.
There wouldn't be anything more Macross than having an SDF Macross clip show. I think it wouldn't be anything more Macross than having it in a different show.
Yeah.
Just have Max do a global report with clips from SDF Macross. Anyway, do you have anything else you want to get out there? I don't know if we've talked over something you wanted to talk about specifically.
No, I am looking forward to this because I want to see what they do with Min-Mei.
Yeah. Oh, retrospective on Min-Mei. Now that we've had a lot of time out of the universe to think about what Min-Mei was to us. All right.
I mean, it's a new generation, yeah. So,
well, it's more than that, isn't it?
2040s, 2012. Yeah,
I think a generation is what, like 20 years, 20-ish years. So
yeah.
We have 2 generations.
I mean, we're talking about literally the Milia's and Max's kids. So yeah, it's their generation.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, then I think it's time to move on. I have been Theta. This has been Lessons. We've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?